it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with Chiron placements, and today I'll be speaking on Scorpio Chiron. I'll be speaking on what a Chiron placement means in your chart, and then after that I'll be speaking on the wound that you have with the Scorpio Chiron, and lastly the way that you can heal this wound. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because you guys know that you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who loves this content or is a Scorpio Chiron. Last but not least, please make sure you support my store Guile Beauty, and you can purchase so many different items. They are made naturally with cotton and they are very comfortable, so no need to have any fear. It will be linked down below in the comments section, the link to purchase. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. So your Chiron placement has a lot to do with a wounded healer, and it has a lot to do with the potential of healing and the capacity of helping others. So you have these wounds. When you do heal it, then you're able to not only help yourself, but also to help other people who have the same wound as you or wounds in general. So even though this is something that you usually have throughout your life, but once you're able to heal it and very much rise above this wound, then you're able to just make the best for your life for yourself. So with this placement of having a Scorpio Chiron or Chiron in the 8th house, because Scorpio kind of like has a correlation with the 8th house. So you have a wound of being connected to trust, intimacy, control, death, shared finances, and transformation, which makes sense because Chiron is the placement of Pluto, and it has a lot to do with changes and as well as Mars. So Pluto, the transformation, is something that is very strong with that, and the transformation, shared finances, control, which can have a lot to do with that Mars influence that Scorpio placements have. Trust, a lot to do with Scorpio placements. I know trust is something that they have a hard time with, but there is a reason why. They've probably been hurt in the past or been neglected in the past, so this is the reason why they have a lot of trust issues. So next up would be individuals with this placement tend to struggle with being vulnerable. So this is something that's very difficult. Letting go of control and trusting others. So being in control is something that they really want to be in, possibly because they've probably been through a lot of stuff in their life, and now that they're older or have a lot more control of their life, they want to control it to the highest force to make sure that nothing ever happens to them again, which is understandable. Trusting others is another thing. They probably did trust people or learn to not trust people by the reaction of how they were raised. They may have deep fears that they often need to work through, and this is something that can be very difficult for this placement, but anything is possible, but it's understandable why they have these wounds. Here are some ways that this placement can play out as well, and one way would be SA, or boundaries being crossed during moments of connection. So this is probably something that they may have gone through when they were younger or in a relationship. It's something that may have been an issue for them, and it's something that is very hard for them to deal with, and rightfully so. Other thing that may wound them is being betrayed by someone close to you, whether it's parents, siblings, friends, family, is something that can be very hurtful towards them, and this placement is something that can really be difficult to deal with because betrayal is very hard. Boundaries being crossed, it's very hard, and one thing about these wounds that are very evident is that there are reasons why people have these wounds, and there are reasons why people have the issues that they have. Is because they've been through things. So a loss of a loved one or deep-rooted fears of death. Maybe at a young age, they probably lost someone very close to them, or someone they really love just went away from them, and it just really hurts them. And they also have a deep-rooted fear of death because of that. So maybe control may be able to move its way in because they want to make sure that everyone around them is good, and they have control of their family members or friends who they love staying alive. Abandonment wound is something that they may have. So this may come from maybe being abandoned by parents or family members or people who they trusted the most, or anyone who they were supposed to take care of them. They probably were abandoned. Struggles with addiction is something that may come because if they've struggled with a few other things, addiction may be something that they may look to in order for them to have comfort. So they may struggle with that. Power struggles that can stem from an early childhood experience where you felt that you were powerless. This may be something that may help them not be vulnerable, and they always want to be in control because they have been mistreated or they've been through a lot of power struggles. Financial loss of some sort that made you feel unstable. So maybe at a young age, parents may have lost something very valuable, so you make sure that you value everything and that you work hard. So maybe being a workaholic may come into this because you want to make sure that you always have money and that you're financially fit. So maybe that's something that you may need to look into, or maybe when you're older, you may have worked hard for something and you lost something, maybe due to a fire or maybe due to a flood or something that you worked hard for, you lost it. And it wasn't your fault in any way, or even if it was your fault, it's still very hard to deal with. And being unstable, instability is something that is very difficult for this placement. Fearing the unknown, leading to trying to control every outcome and holding yourself back from important change that needs to take place is something that this placement may have as well. Like, not knowing the future is something that's very difficult for you. You want to control everything because if you're in control, then everything works out well. If you're in control, you're able to control what happens, what doesn't happen. But sometimes we're not able to control the future. And that can be very hard, and that can be very difficult, and may be something that can really lead to other things. So it's very hard because you've been through a lot, so it's understandable why you want that control. Next one is being emotionally manipulated by those going around you growing up. This is something that is very interesting because it is a water sign placement, and I know a lot of people say that water signs tend to be manipulative, but usually more than not they probably learned that from someone, and now they're gonna show you like, since you can do that, I will do it myself. So manipulation was probably something that they've been through as well. So this placement brings a potential for deep healing and transformation, which helps because Pluto is ruled by Scorpio. You may have a natural capacity for emotional depth and intensity and may be drawn to spiritual or psychological practices that help them work through their wounds. You can also indicate strong intuitive or psychic abilities with a potential for understanding the mysteries of life and death. You may be drawn to fields like psychology, counseling, spirituality, where you can help other people. Also, you may have found challenges in growth and transformation. Ways to heal this is to seek therapy and work on letting go of emotional patterns that no longer serve you. So the emotional patterns that you had previously was because you were traumatized and you were coping based on what you were able to develop for yourself. However, more than likely, they were probably not healthy, but they kept you safe, which is something kudos to you for figuring out a way to protect yourself and prioritize yourself. However, sometimes when you grow older, you may want to look at different ways to control your emotional patterns. So going to therapy is important. Practice meditation and grounding your energy. cultivating self-awareness, work through your deepest fear and figure out where they may stem from. Working on reframing your mindset surrounding those fears. Learning to forgive yourself and others can be a powerful way to release those pain and trauma associated with this placement. I know we did say to forgive, but it doesn't mean you have to forget. You just have to get that forgiveness going so you're able to release yourself from the shackles of what that person did. Exploring your spirituality or connect with a spiritual community, whether it's religion, going to church. Having a connection with God is a priority. Building a healthy and supportive relationship with yourself and others. Taking accountability for ways that you may be contributing to your own pain by staying in situations due to the fear of change. And I know you do have a little help with Pluto because Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, and that is the planet of transformation and change. So you're able to get some help with that. Embracing vulnerability and learning to trust by first being vulnerable with yourself and learning to trust yourself and your intuition. And another part of you not being able to change your ways is also Scorpio being a fixed sign. So with this in mind, these are ways for you to heal this placement of the Chiron placement. And I know it can be hard or difficult, but by having patience with yourself and doing the work that you see needs to be done will really help a lot. Well, that's all I had for you lovelies today regarding the Chiron and Scorpio. Please let me know down below how you felt about it. If you have this placement, did you get a better understanding as to who you are as a person? Please also let me know down below what your Chiron placement is. And if you have not yet, please make sure you subscribe and you've hit that notification. Please make sure you've hit that like button and that share button as well. And last but not least, please make sure you are following me on all of my social media accounts and that you are supporting my store. And if you would like to support the channel, you can do that through PayPal. That is linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.